Hey guys, welcome back to Monel Pura. So in today's video, it's going to be a vlog. So the things I'm going to be making today will be my COQ10 face cream. A customer made a purchase that I currently haven't got any. And then we're going to make body oil because I'm running low on stock on my body oils. And then I'm going to make my Ayurveda hair oil. And I think I'm going to make a large batch of this hair oil because it's one of my best selling oils on my website and my Etsy store. So I'll be making at least 10 liters, if not 15, of this Ayurvedic hair oil. And if I have time, I'll make an Ayurveda hair butter, but I doubt I'll be able to have time to do that today or even this week, because today is currently Tuesday and I have loads to do, have some orders I need to package as well. So if you guys are interested in seeing what I do and what I make behind the scene of my business, then keep on watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and smash the notification bell so that you're notified when more videos are uploaded. So stay tuned guys, and I'm going to show you guys the process behind what I do. So to make our COQ10 face cream, we're going to measure out our oil phase, which is phase 2. We're going to add 8 grams of our emulsifying wax. Remember guys, I am making 200 grams batch of this cream. 4 grams of cetyl alcohol, 18 grams of peach oil. You can use any carrier oil of choice. And then I'm adding 6 grams of C12 to C15. And this is my oil phase completed. So we're going to go ahead, pop this into a water bath, and then we're going to measure out our water phase. So for our water phase, we're going to start with our xanthan gum. So we need 0.4 grams of xanthan gum. So to the xanthan gum, we're going to be adding glycerin to mix this before adding our water. So we need 8 grams of glycerin. So before we add our water, we're going to mix in the glycerin and the xanthan gum together. And then once these 2 ingredients is completely combined, then we're going to add our water. This is just to prevent clumps from forming in our solution. So now we're going to add our water. We need 124 grams of water. Okay, so we're going to mix in the water and the glycerin and the xanthan gum together. And once this is completely combined, we're going to cover the beaker and then place this also in the water bath along with our oil phase. And then I'm going to come back and measure out our phase 3 and phase 4. And also what you need to do is make sure you weigh out your water phase beaker, your phase 1, and make a note of the number, because whatever water that evaporates from this phase, we're going to need to add it back once it's been in the water bath for about 20 minutes. So make a note of it, and then you can replace the water back. Phase 3, we have panthenol. The reason we are separating this is because I want the panthenol to be dissolved in water. So with phase 3, we need 4 grams of panthenol. And then to our panthenol, we're going to add rose water, and we're only adding 8 grams. You can use just distilled water for this part, but I just like using rose water just to add something different to this formula. So 8 grams of our rose water or distilled water, whichever one you're using. And then our last ingredient is our hyaluronic acid serum, and we need 4 grams of that. So we're going to mix in the hyaluronic acid with the panthenol and our water, rose water, and set this to the side. And then measure out our last phase, which is phase 4. So let's measure that out now. We're going to add 6 grams of rose hip oil. You can also add this to the oil phase if you so choose, but because the quantity is so small, I just decided to add it to this phase instead. 2 grams of sea buckthorn oil. And this really adds to the color of the cream as well. We're going to add 0.6 grams of vitamin E oil, 2 grams of dimethicone, 2 grams, 2 grams of our preservative, and we are done with this phase as well. So to our panthenol, rose water, hyaluronic acid, we're going to add 2 grams of cucumber extract. And that's it, guys. Mix everything together. And the panthenol has already dissolved already. Because we're making this and setting this to the side, it's just going to also speed up the process of us making this formulation. Okay guys, so both of my phases have reached similar temperatures. So I'm going to pour the water phase into the oil phase, and then we're going to begin to blend. So we're going to blend using our immersion blender for at least 1 minute, 1 to 2 minutes. So I'm going to leave this to cool down, and then I'll come back and continue to stir every 5 minutes until it thickens up enough for me to be able to add my phase 3 and my phase 4 ingredients. So guys, the temperature has reached a level that I can go ahead and add my phase 3 ingredients to the cream, and then I'm going to mix this together. Then I'll go ahead and then add my phase 4 ingredients, and then we're pretty much almost done. So at the moment the color is really pale, but once I add my COQ10 powder, but it's been infused in an oil, once I've added that, you're gonna see the big difference. So my COQ10 has been infused into this oil right here, and I'm gonna add that to the formulation using my scale. So I'm gonna add my COQ powder, and the color would almost immediately start changing. So I'm adding the rest of the ingredients from phase 4. So we're gonna mix it all in, guys, and then we're gonna go in with the immersion blender for the last time. As you can see, guys, the color is changing. Okay, we're pretty much done, guys. Let me set this to the side and just show you guys how the cream feels. And I'll just show you guys how the cream feels, guys. Let me just rub it into my hands, and as you can see, it doesn't really drag, and it's not too oily. It literally just soaks into your skin. Look at that. It's absolutely gorgeous. So guys, the cream have cooled down to almost room temperature, so I'm going to place this in my jar, and I use a spoon to scoop this into my jars. Look at this color, guys. Isn't this pretty? I really like making this cream and my cucumber rose cream just because of the color. So what I'll do is I'll kind of scoop this into the jar slowly, and I'll tap, and then I will fill it up. That's it, guys. This is the cream. Like I said, I'm going to be making my Ayurvedic hair oil. I will be making a large batch of this oil today. and I'm going to use this this container right here and my 3 ml beaker, and I'm going to repeat this about 2 or 3 times because I don't have anything big enough for me to be able to make a bigger batch. So this two kind of comes up to about, this is 3 ml and this is 2 ml. So these two come up to about 5 ml, and I need to make at least 3 times as much. So you guys are only going to see me go through this process once, and then the rest of the time I'm going to film off camera, but towards the end you'll see that I'll have a very large batch of this Ayurvedic hair oil. So I'm going to start by measuring out my powder and my tea first before adding my oils. As you can see here to this side, I made a turmeric face wash yesterday. It was last night, so I'm just leaving it here to allow for the bubbles to set. If you guys want to know how I made this turmeric face wash, I will link that video in the description box below. I've already made it on this channel already, so go ahead and check out that video, and the ingredients are also in the description box. Along with this Ayurvedic hair oil, I will be making a body oil as well. So let's just go ahead and measure out our powders. So we're going to start with our tea. So this is my peppermint tea. And listen guys, if you guys want the recipe for this Ayurvedic hair oil, again, I've already made a detailed one on this channel already. I will link that in the description box below, so you guys can go ahead and check out that video and also the recipe for that. What I'm going to try and do from now on, I'm going to try and set up an Amazon affiliate account so that you guys, so that I can link some of these things that I'm using for you guys, so it'll be easy for you to find. I mean, you can get green tea and peppermint tea pretty much from any store, any supermarket store, so you don't always have to order it online. Wrong. So in this container right here, I have my Ayurvedic powder. So I have mixed my brimrash powder, amla, fenugreek, aloe vera, brahmi, ashwagandha, ginger powder in this container, just to make the process a lot faster when I am making this oil, instead of going through each one and adding a tablespoon or adding the amount of grams that I need. I already have this here already. This just works better for me. You don't have to do it this way, but I find that this makes my life a lot easier, and because I don't have a lot of storage in my flat, this just makes my life a lot easier. So I've moved on to now making my body oil. I am making a large batch of this body oil. So you see me adding my grapeseed oil to the beaker, my avocado oil, my safflower oil, castor oil, vitamin E oil. And I tend to not add my essential oils or my fragrance oil, which I will explain later on in the video, that I do add these once a customer purchases their scent, because it's the problem of space again. So this is the turmeric wash that I made yesterday. The bubbles haven't completely settled, but I realized that it never does anyway. So to compensate for the bubbles, I will be filling up my bottles to the top, so that when everything does settle down, the customer still has the amount that they have purchased. So I'm going to just line up the bottles just like that. So guys, I'm going to be adding my petals to my container. So here are the petals. I do have a box full of one, but I'm gonna try and go through these ones first. So what I do, it's gonna look messy, but what I do is I just pop, let's push this to the side so you guys can see. I just pop a few through the hole right here. I don't need too much because I don't want the flour clogging up the oil or the dropper that the customer is using. Just a little bit is enough. So that's how much I need inside one. Okay, so this is me done with filling up my glass bottle. I think I have filled up 15 bottles, ready for me to add the scent to when a customer puts in a purchase. I'm going to cover this with 3 different caps based on the option that a customer might choose. The most popular cap is it's a black dropper bottle, followed by a pump, and then just a normal cap. I'm going to make 2 caps, 5 pumps, and 7 pipettes for this round of oil. And then what the rest that is left over, I'm going to put it in a bottle to store away. So when I am running low on this, then I'm going to repeat just this process. Instead of me making the oil again, I'll just repeat this process. guys, so I have decided to come back just to give you guys an update as to what I have been doing the whole week. Ignore my crazy background. I just needed to come up and film this really quickly. So in this week's video, I've decided to make quite a lot of things and just film it in one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload that one video, and then I'm going to break this video into half so that you guys can view it individually if you do not want to watch the whole thing. But I advise that you watch the whole thing because it helps my channel and the algorithm. So in this week's video, I did quite a lot of things. I made I think 1,500 grams of my Ayurvedic hair oil. So it's a massive large batch of the oil. It's one of my best selling oils, so I need to make a lot because I'm making this from home and my facility is not that big. You'll find that I had to repeat the same process over and over again, and I filmed some of it for you guys. And then I went on to make my body oil. I made a turmeric face wash. I did that off camera, but you see me bottling it up and labeling everything, so I will show you that. But if you want to watch that video or how I make my turmeric face wash, my body oil, and even this Ayurvedic hair oil in more detail, I will link those videos in the description box below. So that's all I've got planned for this week, and I'll try and upload the video as soon as possible. I also did a video from last week of me making wedding favors for a friend's wedding. I'm going to link that video in the description box below. If you haven't seen it, you can go ahead and watch the things that I made for that wedding. So I've pretty much almost done with my Ayurvedic hair oil, but I've got the last 500 grams that I've got left to make. So I'm just going to show you guys the process of me measuring out the essential oils, adding it into my container, shaking it up, and then that will be me done with the Ayurvedic hair oil, and that will be me done for the week. So all I'm going to do is spend the weekend editing all these videos. Stay tuned, subscribe, and let's jump right on into this video. So this is approximately almost 20 liters of Ayurveda hair oil that I made over the last few days. So I have allowed for the oils to sit in these containers for about just over 48 hours to allow for the powder to sit to the bottom of the containers, and this will allow for, when I do pour this into the bottles I'm going to sell, you wouldn't really have so much of the residue at the bottom of the containers that I'll be selling. So I prefer doing it that way. In the past, I didn't mind. If I'm in a rush or in a hurry and I need to get an order out, I wouldn't mind doing that either. I'll show you an example of one just right here. As you can see, that residue down here at the bottom of this 4-ounce bottle has settled down. So by allowing it to sit for 48 hours, this kind of prevents having this happening or too much of this settling at the bottom. You don't have to worry too much about this because this residue down here, the powder, is actually really good for your hair. You can apply it to your hair, you can leave it on your hair for days on end. It wouldn't be a problem, but just for a professional touch, I don't like seeing it most of the time. But it doesn't really matter. I think you can actually use that as part of your selling tip as well. you guys have made it this far into this video, you are a star. And if you've made it this far and you've already hit the subscribe button, you are a gem. Thank you guys so much for your support, for watching the video, for subscribing. We're growing and we really appreciate all your love and support and your comments as well. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow us on our social media, our Instagram, TikTok, etc. And until next time, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.